Hello, everybody. Today is 1925, June the 19th, 25. And y'all, this came in my spirit. You know, there is so much that go on in the world. This going on, that's going on. And some of those things that are going on, a lot of those things that are going on, has its effects even on you individually. I found out. I find I find it very I ain't gonna say strange because that's not the word. I find it to be people think that they can do things and God don't see it. You know what I mean? People think that they can do things and do things against you, and they act as if that they move in silence like a snake. They moving in silence like a snake, not realizing that the light can be turned on at any second. And when the light is turned on, usually when you see a snake, you cut it off, cut the head off, or you do what you have to do to protect yourself. Y'all, in saying that, moving in silence against someone and especially a child of God, you have to be very, very careful in doing that. Do you know that God said he'll raise a standard against the enemy because a snake is an enemy? Do you know that there is an army that's behind me and those that God has chosen? Do you not know that? And do you know that it's an order? The order of God is very, very important. And do you know that when you're doing things undercover, or when you're doing things to try to get back at someone, do you know that you're going to reap that? I don't understand people. I guess I should understand because I done been there and done that. I done slithered in the darkness as well. And I done did things, to people, and knowing that, maybe I thought I was sneaking and God exposed me, or I had to reap from those things that I did. Yeah, I had to reap it. And I had to learn that. Maybe some people haven't learned yet. But see, the thing about it is, what we got away with, back then, it was kind of, you reap what you sow, and it may take a minute. But do you realize now that when you do something against the will of God, that you can reap what you sow in the same second? It's not like the way it used to be, y'all. That's why it's important that what you do in the dark, know that God is there and He sees all. He sees all and He knows all. It's just a matter of the flick of a light. Exposure is real, y'all. And exposure comes with reaping, whether it's good or bad. Exposure is real. We in this hour need to walk lightly and walk the way God wants us to walk. Do things with integrity. Do the right thing. It's so important for us to do the right thing. Cause see, when you do the right thing, God will bless you. You don't have to take the snake slithering on, trying to do things undercover and then you wonder why things don't turn out the way you thought the slithering was gonna bring forth your blessing. It don't work that way. You can have that blessing in you can have what once was a blessing in your hand for a second. And that same blessing, because you didn't do right about it, gotta make sure that it's done. It's done. It's done to the glory of Him. It's done decently and in order. I was telling my crew about this, and it's just a little story that I don't know if it kind of go parallel, but it shows how sometimes we want to still slither in things, listening to the enemy. You do this, you do that. You ain't got to say a word. Just do this and do that. And I just had something to happen to me the other day. I had placed an order for some things. I think it might have been like $100 or maybe just a smidgen less than that. And I called in and let the company know because they had said that I had received it on that day, said it had been delivered. And I'm like, I checked and checked and checked everywhere. No delivery nowhere. So I did an extra check to make sure before I placed the call and let them know that it says on my invoice, well, not invoice, but the thing that they show you that it had been delivered at my address. So I told them about, well, it says that, but it has not been delivered. And they could see on their end that it said delivered. Okay. So the lady, of course, apologized for it and everything because, she said, well, it shows delivered. And I said, yes, it shows delivered. But I do not have those items at my address. So the lady decided that she was going to send that same order back out, exact same order back out. And that order was going to be, of course, no charge because I had already paid for the first order, the original order, to be sent out to me. So So she made the same exact order, made a duplicate of that original order, and it, is supposed to be sent out to me on I think the next day, and then on one of the items was gonna come maybe a day later. But anyway, hold on, y'all. I know it's taking me a minute, but I'm trying to let you see something here. So the next day after I talked to them, how about it? It might have been the next day or next 2 days. It might not have been the next day. But anyway, I had an order to come. I'm like, wait a minute now. Is this the order, the original order, or is this the replacement order? So I wasn't sure. So I waited a day or two. So here comes another order. Whoa. Now I got the original order that was delivered, but it was delivered, after they said that it had been delivered on one day. So I got the original order, and now I have the replacement order. Now in my mind, for a second, well, I can't help it because, that they said it was delivered on that day and it wasn't. And I called in and let them know that it wasn't delivered and they did a replacement. I can't help that. So now I have 2 orders. I have 2 orders. What a blessing that is. So now, instead of me having the original order, I had the replacement order too. So what a blessing. Now I have a double blessing. Y'all, that didn't sit right with me. Okay? It just didn't sit right with me. Even though there were mistakes made, not on my part, but there were mistakes made originally when they said that it was in, that they had delivered it and it wasn't delivered. So that was a mistake that was made. And it cost, that particular company to send out a replacement, which would have been a loss on their behalf. But anyway, y'all, it would have been considered as a double blessing. Y'all, that didn't sit right with my spirit. It didn't sit right with my spirit that I only ordered or wanted one order. I only paid for one order. But I'm sitting up here looking at 2 orders that can rightfully be my order. That second one was my order too. So I looked at it and I'm like, Lord, even though these people don't know that I have 2 orders now, but guess who know? I know, first of all, and it's my decision, but most of all, God know. He know that I can slither around on the floor thinking that I've been blessed. See, the enemy will make you think that you're blessed. I can slither around on the floor and accept the fact that I've been blessed. Or I can let God flick the light on and shine the light on me and let me see that I only paid for one order. So since the light came on, I had to call them and expose the truth. And that truth is that original order and the replacement order both came to my home. And I had to let them know that to go back and look at what happened on my order and how the lady sent out a replacement, and I have that as well. And that I knew that I only was supposed to have one order. And the guy on the phone said, well, did the lady say that you would have to send it back? And I'm like, why would he say that? Because we think an order is lost because it wasn't at my address. So why would she even say that? So I'm like, no, she never said that. So I'm like, why would she say that? It didn't make sense. But anyway, so he said, well, let me just check a few things. Give me a couple of minutes. I said, okay, sure. I just want you to understand that, I own an order one and I have the replacement here. He said, oh, I understand. And so he went off for a couple of minutes. And then he came back. He said, well, ma'am, because he was a real happy type guy. He said, well, ma'am, those going to be yours. I'm like, huh? He said, you can keep those, the original and the replacement. I said, are you kidding me? And he said, yes, you keep both of them and there would be no charge to you at all for that. And of course, I'm like, Lord, thank you. Look at my God. Now see, it was just a mere, all it was is just a decision to do right. I could have still had the replacement items. Either way, I could have had the replacement items. According to the way I'm looking at it now, I could have had it either way. I could have had the replacement order and my original order, even if I didn't call it in. But since I had been exposed and the light had shone on me, I had to make that right. But making it right enabled me. It made me to have a double blessing the right way. Do you hear what I'm saying? Having a double blessing the right way. And it opens up where it didn't stop my blessings from flowing. So a lot of times when we going undercover trying to do things against people, it stops our blessing from flowing. And it gets, when you chop that head off that snake, it stopped the progress. It stopped the progress. But when you chop the head off of it, and then you do the right thing after you chop the head off of it, and you do the right thing by getting rid of the snake and doing the right thing, then you open yourself up for your blessings not to be clogged up and for you to continue the blessings of God overtaking you. Y'all, I know I was long-winded, but I had to share because I'm seeing this in two different things. How people try to do things undercover, do things against you, and thinking that you won't find out. and then they only hurting themselves. Because sometimes it takes only just a little bit of communication. And you won't stop your blessing. You might end up getting a blessing, a double blessing. So y'all, do the right thing at all times. Don't stop your blessing from flowing. Because I promise you, when you're doing something undercover and trying to sneak and sliver and try to do things undercover, I promise you, it's going to catch up with you. Whether you're doing it in the eyes of man or not, God sees all and he knows all. Okay? So don't clog up your blessing trying to think that you're getting a blessing when that blessing is coming from the enemy and ain't nothing good in him. So do the right thing. Do the right thing so the blessings continue to flow. Y'all have a very blessed day. And I didn't mean to keep y'all 21 minutes, but I had to tell it all, y'all. I had to tell it all, okay? But anyway, all right, y'all have a very blessed day. And I will talk at you all in another video.